Joining us on the show today is Business SA's Chief Executive Nigel McBride. Welcome, Nigel.
It's great to be here.
It's great to see you again. I know you're on TOOP TV a while back now, sometime last year, but we've had a number of episodes since, so it's great to see you again.
Yeah, I mean, me and Richard Branson the same day must be quite special for you guys.
Great lineup.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
raised the bar again, I think, this morning, Richard Branson. Now we've got you here, so.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, and look, if I may come up with some one-liners like Richard, but we don't always compare notes.
So how have you settled into the role with Business SA?
Look, it's been really busy. I expected it to be busy, but it's been particularly busy because, the business has gone through some pretty volatile conditions, as you know, and we're a membership organisation. We're there for our members, and our nearly 5,000 business members in the state have really been through a pretty tough time. So what we've been trying to do is everything that we can to lobby for them for a better business environment. But on top of that, we've got a lot of tools that we provide to them. We have a membership advice line, a business advice line that is a lifeline to most small businesses because they simply can't afford to go to lawyers and accountants and other people.
Yeah,
and we provide that. So it has been incredibly busy. We've been looking at every aspect of our organisation to make sure we're more effective. As effective as we can be. So, yeah, lots to do. It's month 10 now, I think, and it seems like it's just blurred.
Looks like you've got a lot of wins on the board already.
Well, we're kind of, there's some good stuff. I mean, we've got, interesting, we've got a federal election coming up and a state election in within the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, sure.
We've now launched as part of the National Chamber movement, all of the Chambers of Commerce have got together and launched this Small Business Too Big to Ignore campaign.
Yeah.
So really encourage any viewers to log on to the Small Business Too Big to Ignore website, and I will tweet it after the show just to make sure we can get people clicking on and supporting something that supports small business in Australia. Most people don't realise that 2 million small businesses in Australia employ 7 million Australians, and yet they don't get a voice in Canberra, the kind of voice they deserve.
Yeah. So you're finding that a lot of people are coming to you with different legal issues and like people who can't necessarily afford to go and get a solicitor. I know they're quite costly, and so you're able to have someone step in and sort of represent them, or how does that?
Well, we mainly, as an employer organisation, we mainly give them employment advice, work health and safety advice, commercial advice. So there is a reasonably wide range. We're certainly not a law firm, but in areas like IR law and employment law, work health and safety law, we do actually provide a lot of help. We also we've got these modern awards. There's over 100 of them. They're very complicated, and it's almost impossible for a small business owner to know how to handle all of this compliance.
Yeah.
So we're one call away for all of that.
I was going to say it's great that they can give you a call and you can sort of direct them in the right direction, and at least then they've got someone to call, and first point of call will be you guys, and then away they go.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the time we can actually fix the problem, but if we can't, we'll also refer them. And so, it's very, very busy because, of course, the burden of compliance on small business is so huge now. The red tape and the paperwork that every small business has got to wade through is really pretty challenging. So we're there to try and declutter that as much as we can.
So is there anything in the works that's going to affect the real estate industry?
Well, look, most real estate, there's a couple of things. One is just about everybody in real estate are small businesses and and employers. So we're going to be working hard for all small businesses, including real estate, to make it easier to be an employer. The second thing, of course, is we are asking the state government to maintain its support of the package that we were part of to get building happening and therefore ultimately real estate sales. We're hoping they'll extend that beyond 30 June, and we think that'll probably be well received. We do need to stimulate the housing market here, and Business SA has been working very, very hard to encourage all of the right environment, including government support, to make that happen.
Yeah, sure. And you mentioned the elections that are coming up.
Yes.
How are you finding that's affecting consumer confidence? Is it something that, in the event of any election, it's sort of going to disturb the waters a little bit, but how are you finding it with Business SA and the small businesses in particular?
Look, I think for small and large businesses, it really, elections always create uncertainty.
Yeah.
This one in particular is creating a lot of uncertainty. We've got a state election very shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
So, and quite often with federal elections coming up, this is a very long campaign. This one's a very long period. And during that period, federal government often doesn't do much. So, you know, a lot of stimulus that would come into the economy isn't there. So having such a long lead time, I think, is problematic.
Do you think that small businesses tend to hold off on making decisions, or is it, like anything that stalls them when, you know, with the uncertainty, it's sort of, if they're going to hold off making a decision until the, government's finalised? Is that what you tend to see?
We just released our business confidence survey, and business confidence is down in South Australia. There is a sense of uncertainty generally, not only about elections, but generally about where the economy's going.
Yeah.
I think we're concerned that this is the new normal, that the cavalry aren't going to arrive anytime soon. There's no magic bullet. Businesses are going to have to cope with this environment, and it's our job to help them cope better. But we don't think the federal election is going to be a magic bullet if the government changed, nor do we think it at a state level. I mean, the fact is the global economy is still in very bad shape, and Australia was doing well. You will have seen from the news, it's not, you know, we're not doing as well as we thought we might be. And, you know, there is going to be a lot of argument about what the government spends their money on federally and statewide. So, you know, we don't think there's going to be any radical change, but we're looking for at least some relief for small business in particular.
Yeah, sure. And then I guess, I mean, on the real estate end as well, we're seeing that, you know, there's a few players in that out there as well that are coming up. So it's be interesting to see what the landscape looks like in the next sort of 6 to 12 months for the small businesses.
Well, and I think real estate sales are a really good barometer. And yet, having said that, you know, what's dear today is cheap tomorrow. And in your industry particularly, there are some great deals out there.
Yeah.
What your customers and your clients can know is that interest rates are going to be reduced for a prolonged period, so they can plan to have lower interest rates. So that's a real opportunity to get the right property at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. We're finding that as well.
That's my plug for you guys. Just there's no need to slip me 50 after this.
Well, thank you, Nigel. Just stay with us now. We're going to look at some sold properties in Going, Going, Gone.